Police Jury Association of Louisiana. We've been in business since 1924, and we are a local government association, lobbying, just working with local governments throughout Louisiana. This is our 102nd annual convention here in Lake Charles, and it's been a very, very packed house thus far. Every penny is precious in local government, and so the biggest issue that we have right now is just trying to pay for everything that we are mandated to pay for. The state has put some mandates on us. We call them unfunded mandates that date back to the 1921 Constitution, and we continue to struggle to pay for those things as well as the things that we have to provide to the everyday citizen. The insurance crisis in Louisiana is just out of control, not only for the citizens, but for parish governing authorities as well. You know, consider this, when your insurance is going up as a citizen, it's also going up much more sometimes in the case of businesses. We are somewhat like a business, so we have to have insurance on all our vehicles, all our fleet of vehicles, buildings and property, workers' comp, and that all just continues to escalate up. We got to try to work with the legislature to do our part to try to get a grip on what insurance rates should be and see if we can knock those things down. We've had some successes, or the state government has had some successes in the last couple of years because they made it a priority, but there's still a lot more work to be done.
Insurance, of course, is affecting everyone, especially, in the government, like we are local governments. We have a fleet of vehicles, a fleet of equipment, courthouse maintenance, all, and each year we see an increase, as well as health insurance. So, there was some legislation passed last year. I think we're seeing a little bit of results. Hopefully in a few years we'll see a lot more results from those legislation.
It's tough. Specifically, parish government, our rates over the last few years have probably gone up 40%, and we don't have the ability to raise prices per se. So it's tough. We're having to manage more. We might have to take on more risk of our own, which is very difficult. But we're working with our state legislators and our federal legislators to work on both the flood insurance and then of course property and casualty here, liability. It's a major factor, and thankfully there's things done at the state level that have been done, and at the federal level we're seeing a little bit of relief, some flattening of the increases. Still a little bit of an increase, but not the sharp increases we had in the previous few years.
Well, it's impacted mine pretty good. I look at it regularly. I'm hoping things will improve. Yeah, that's one of those issues that it's a big macro issue, but we are hoping that some of the things that the legislature has done will actually improve things. But we'll start seeing that this year and next year with some rate of lowering some rates.
It's impacting them because, as your insurance rates go up, your monthly mortgage typically goes up with it. And so if your mortgages or those payments are continuing to increase every month, that's less money that you have for other things, whether it be food and gas and other utility bills or school tuition, if you have that, extracurricular activities for your family. So it hurts in every way.
Iberia Parish is a coastal parish, as you know. So we have some unbelievable, ridiculous rates in Iberia Parish. I'm talking about for businesses as well as homeowners. We have homeowners in Iberia Parish who might live in a $100,000 house and they're paying $11,000 and $12,000 a year insurance. It's something that needs to be addressed, and it should have been addressed many years ago, but hopefully we can get that done in the near future.
It's a very big impact because in the southeast region, closer to the water, our infrastructure is a big issue, and our insurance is probably more than others, and we're actually dealing with the issue where some insurance companies want to insure further northern than where we are, so it's actually affecting a lot of people with our insurance being more than Mississippi. So a lot of people are crossing over 20 minutes from where we are to get insurance because it's actually running a lot of people out of our area in St. Tammany Parish.
Inflation itself has been a challenge for us. Everything just keeps going up, and taxes, for the most part, we pay a lot of our stuff with property taxes. Those things are somewhat neutral. There is reassessment that happens every 4 years, but it's not moving as high up as inflation does. In fact, there's some cases where assessments are going the other way, yet expenses to run those parish governments are going up.
Alongside the cost of goods for the people, it's also costing the police jury for doing infrastructure projects. The detention pond I mentioned earlier, we have $4.6 million from LWI for this project, but now that we've got the project engineered, it's looking like a cost estimate's going to be $850,000 over budget. So we're trying to make those ends meet. But just on our asphalt roads, what we used to get done for $150,000, now it's costing us $300,000. It's doubled over the last 15 years. I've been coming here for 19 years. This is my 19th Police Jury Convention. And I've seen a lot of things change over those years.
Everything went up. It affects our budget big time because we haven't increased our revenue. Sales tax up a little bit. That helps some. But at the end of the day, the cost is high, and we got to stream back and just watch our spending.
It's been hard on every business, obviously. It just snowballs from one business to another in the supply chain. We've all seen price increases.
It's self-explanatory. Anything that goes up higher and our income is not going up higher, it becomes a problem at home. It becomes a problem in financial situations at home. So it's quite impactful.
Well, the biggest things in our projects, whenever we do a road project or a bridge, we're the project, when we started working on it, say 2 years ago, you were estimating the cost to be $1 million, and now it's $1.4 million. In some cases, even more. So it's obviously has impacted on our ability to deliver the bigger projects or even just everyday work. And then, of course, we know that our citizens are being hit with their insurance, their groceries, the cost of living there. So we have to be more cognizant and do our very best to spread our tax revenue and do more with it the best we can, because we know our citizens, they're feeling it too.
It's a huge impact on local government. Just for instance, asphalting, highways. We do a lot of overlays in our rural roads. 10 years ago, we were doing it for $150,000 per mile. Now we're at $250,000 to $300,000 per mile. So, our dollars don't go far these days. So it's having a huge impact on local government.
It has impacted the cost of all of our projects, which in turn, does affect the budget. And it's been a struggle. I mean, we have projects that we're working on right now that we started 5-6 years ago with pricing from 5-6 years that have completely doubled. And so it's something that we contend with every day. We're fortunate that our credit ratings, we've been able to maintain very good credit ratings, and so we're able to continue to go out on the market and borrow through bond financing at no additional increase to our tax payers. So we have been lucky that we've been very good with our finances, but the cost of a project does hurt because we can't do as much. Whereas before, if we had $1 million worth of road money and we could get 20 asphalt roads done with that, well, now we might only be able to get to do 10. And so the money just doesn't go as far as it used to.
This year's legislative session is going to be pretty action-packed. We seem to think that carbon capture storage is going to probably take a lot of the time of the legislature. We as a board of directors and /a association have made a priority that we wanted 3 things relative to carbon capture. Number one, if we were going to do storage in Louisiana, it needed to be safe. That was our biggest priority. Number 2, that if it was going to be done in a parish within the state, that the parish government needs to be notified that these storage projects are coming. And number 3, if there's going to be any funding that's associated with storing this carbon dioxide, that we would get a portion of that so that we can help pay for some of our unfunded mandates.
The people in Rapides Parish overall are opposed to carbon capture. Rapides Parish is currently doing a study for our parish just to get some geological information back to us. And then we'll make a decision, where we go. But for the most part, me personally, I'm opposed to carbon capture, but I don't know enough about it, and it's just there's some safety stuff that I'm concerned about. So me personally, in Rapides Parish, I'm against the carbon capture.
Good. What would you like to see with the legislature do on this to make it fair for everyone across the state?
Well, I think what we'll see is, addressing eminent domain. That's a huge issue for everyone, is the eminent domain. The other thing I think that the people are pushing for is to give the right to vote in each parish. And I think you're going to see a lot of legislation that's going to aim in that direction this year.
It's obviously a worldwide issue that whether you believe carbon capture is the best thing since sliced bread or not, the world is telling us that we have to be carbon neutral. So whenever the world does that, and our industries are moving toward that to make sure that our industries grow, we have to figure out how to do it in our communities. The safety of it is always an issue, and I think it's just newer. But we do a lot of stuff in Louisiana that has been very difficult to do with various petrochemical plants, and we do it very well, and we've done it very safely. If you think about the infrequent issues that we have with our petrochemical, it's just another form of that. And I think as our citizens learn more and become more comfortable that this industry that our current industry can do it safely, and understand that carbon is probably one of the safest things that we can fool with, that I think they'll come around.
We have a big project called carbon capture over at the port, and we're part of that port work that's being done there, but it's really not been much of an issue right now for what we've seen. But the work that's being done in that area is out at the port of Shreveport-Bossier. So, but we don't have any problems right now circulating about it.
There's been a lot of misinformation, a lot of exaggerations carried out, and so now it's just a battle. It is a major battle. Hopefully the state legislature can do something to help with that battle. In our parish, it's definitely an issue. We, as a police jury, has voted resolutions not supporting it. However, if it's going to be shoved down our throats, then we feel like the parish should benefit from it and from the corporations that come in and do these carbon capture operations. So
I think there are some mixed feelings, in the parish. We do have residents that are concerned about disruption to Lake Maurepas or what that could potentially look like. And then you have some residents who are more familiar with the technology of carbon capture. It's not necessarily a new technology, and some are more familiar. So you've got, folks on both sides on that. And I think the legislature is going to have another tough year as it relates to carbon capture, fleshing out all of those issues.
Yeah, I think it's a big concern of the parish citizens. We recently passed a resolution opposing carbon capture, the CCS, but there are some other carbon capture type things that we're still up in the air for. There's bio oil that they're currently injecting in one of our abandoned wells that actually has a benefit of sealing the well once they fill it with the bio oil, but the carbon capture that most people are, the Class 6 wells, it's a concern for our people.
Carbon capture right now, there's some discussion. It's not our call, I know that for sure. We can't stop them from coming. It's all up to the state. But never had a whole lot of conversation with people in the community yet. I know there are going to be some pluses and probably a whole lot more negatives for it, but we just have to wait and see how that happens.
St. Charles Parish is an industry-friendly parish. About 90% of our ad valorem tax base is industry. So, but at the same time, we appreciate all of these companies being transparent, getting the information out to our constituents, and maintaining a balance between, the industry and our constituents' quality of life.
Louisiana has for too long stood at a crossroads, but today we actually stand at a defining moment, a moment of historic progress, a moment of unprecedented opportunity. And so today I want to share with you where we've been, where we are, and where we are going to go together. Over the past 2 years, Louisiana has created over 124,000 new job opportunities. I mean, think about that. ask yourself, would you have believed me if 3 years ago when I was running for governor, I said that I would work with our legislature and together we would create an environment under which we would create in this state over 124,000 new job opportunities. If I'd have said that, you would have said, he's lying. But I'm going to tell you that 124,000, and that's counting. That's counting, and that's being driven by what I believe by the end of March, we will have $100 billion worth of private investment in this state. Now, let me ask you, I want to show me, how many of you all represent parishes along I-20? Raise your hand. Y'all in for some change. We got the folks from Richland Parish here. Are they here? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. You're just afraid they come and look for all the money you fixing to make. And it started right there. We started this economic expansion in one of the poorest parishes of this state. Because when Meta came to me and said, here is what we want to do, I said, I've got a place for you to do it. I've got a place where you can transform the lives of people. You can go to an area of this state that has long needed economic development. And 3 years ago, I promised the people in North Louisiana, and they absolutely thought I was lying to them, and it's okay. You can admit it now. When I told them that some of the greatest opportunities that we're going to bring forward to them is going to be in their area of the state. And lo and behold, just last week or a week before, we announced $12 billion of new investment brought to the Bossier and Caddo area, where Amazon's going to build a $12 billion project. Where are those folks in Bossier and Caddo? I want to see y'all. Hi, look at that. Y'all getting closer and closer to the front now. And you know what's amazing? I got to tell you, Amazon, I was so proud of them. They didn't pick between y'all. They said, we're going to do it in both of those parishes. And you know what? I think that speaks volumes for what we've done. The people of this state have been begging for an economy that is diversified. We have hitched our wagon to oil and gas in a good way, and I'm not telling you it was a bad thing, for so many decades. And we've rode on that wagon, and that wagon has gone up and down so many times. But we recognized, in order to not have the fits and starts and the fiscal cliffs that plagued Washington, that we needed to diversify our economy. And we watched our southern neighbors. If you were in Bossier and Caddo, you watched Texas and a little bit of Arkansas, and then we watched Alabama and Georgia and the Carolinas grow, and we said, what's wrong with Louisiana? Can we ever get ourselves off the bottom? Well, I'm happy to tell you today that inside of that $100 billion is a diversified economy. It consists of energy, manufacturing. It consists of logistics, technology, skilled trades that are thriving in every region of the state. And especially, the thing that makes me the proudest is that it is thriving in some of the most rural parishes of this state. Because I came from a rural parish, and I am not forgetting our rural parish friends. And we're going to make sure that we touch every corner. We got more projects coming. We're going to grab one in, where's the folks from Central Louisiana? Y'all raise your hands. That's a big group. Go from one end of the line all the way to the other. Don't worry, we coming. It's getting there. Our economic growth didn't happen by accident. It happened because we made bold choices, because we chose execution over excuses. We chose growth over the status quo. We use data instead of emotion. And we got any legislators here? They smiling because they hadn't had a special session this year. They're going back in the regular one. But it is because I drove those folks to the limit. And we pushed them to do things that no one said could be done in this state. We cut taxes. We restored order. We reformed education. We've ignited economic growth. And we've returned the government to the people. And you know what else? I'm proud to stand before you all and let you know that we've governed as partners with you, not as a parent. Because I believe that the only way that we move this state forward is to treat our local government like a partner. Baton Rouge should not be placing unfunded mandates on you, and we should be able to give you more opportunities to drive the revenue that you need in order to serve your people. DOTD, we rebuilt it. We've been trying to reorganize the Department of Transportation for God knows how long. And I remember meeting with some folks and telling them that we were going to do it when I was running, and they didn't believe me either, but we did it. We conducted a full review of that department. We worked with the legislature. We reorganized it, and Secretary Glenn Leday is leading the charge to streamline processes, cut waste, and more importantly, to get projects into your communities faster. And at the same time, we knew that you all needed immediate relief. How many of you all got bridges that are out in your parishes? Go ahead. We knew, or are about to go out, or are under weight limits. That's why we created the Office of Highway Construction, and the legislature was gracious enough to put enough money in it for us to do a 62 bridge package. And of course, we stole Archie Chasson out of Lafourche Parish and put him in charge of that. And you know why I chose Archie? Because he knows y'all.
Tourism is big business. I don't have to tell you that. Prior to COVID, we had 5 record-breaking years. In 2019, over 53 million people visited Little Louisiana and left behind $1.9 billion in taxes. One of the things we do every year that has really knocked it out the park has been the Rose Parade.
I think you'll see all a part of Louisiana on that float. We got our pelican, our state bird, is stirring the pot of gumbo. We've got the shrimp, the crabs, the crawfish. You'll see the shrimp boat that goes out to catch those beautiful Louisiana shrimp. And for the first time ever, they're letting us put real oyster shells on the float. We actually have Louisiana rice and so many flowers from all over the world. It's really something to see.
All the certified Louisiana products, the chefs, the cooks, the heritage, it all comes together in that big pot of gumbo. And that is what Louisiana is all about.
I think it's going to be just a surreal feeling to remember the people that came before me, and now I'm the one that's riding the Louisiana float at the Rose Parade, one of the most beautiful parades you'll ever see.
At the end of the year, when you're planning your next vacation, what better time than to have Louisiana in front of the whole world? We treat strangers like family. When you come to Louisiana, you leave with a friend for life, and you just keep coming back for more.
Thanks to a lot of your help and volunteers, we kept every park open, and today we have 5 parks making a profit. And we're doing private-public partnerships, and we're looking for local investors. If you want to build 10 cabins at a park, give me a small percentage, we want to talk to you. We're looking to build a resort conference center on land next to Fontainebleau, and maybe a couple other ones. There's talk about one in Toledo Bend. You know, y'all meet every year. We have 350 groups meet all over the state. A conference center, resort conference center in Fontainebleau would be able to host many of these groups. And they got the beach, the pier. So it's a great opportunity for a local investor or investment group. You pay no property tax. We give you a 99-year lease. You get a check. We rent them. We clean them. If you want to do a resort lazy river like you're seeing them built all over, we've got a couple locations for that. One thing we won't do, we won't allow anyone to put a restaurant or anything that will compete with your local businesses. Now let me tell you, when we decided to partner with the mountain bike team and bring a gentleman's horses into Boca Chica, everybody said, Billy, you're crazy. Nobody's going to Washington Parish to ride a bike. Well, ask Beth Meinzel today. If you go into Washington Parish on any weekend, it's packed with mountain bikes on cars, horse trails. We get over 2,000 people a month come ride that mountain bike trail. It was named the #2 mountain bike trail in the country. And I got to tell you, if you don't think it helps economic impact, I got a letter from an engineering company out of South Carolina the other day, and he wanted to thank me because he had trouble getting engineers to move to his New Orleans office. 8 engineers volunteered to go because they ride mountain bikes. So we're now doubling the size of that mountain bike trail and horseback riding at Boca Chica.
Louisiana seafood is the best because it's fresh out the Gulf and it's that love and passion that goes in preparing it.
This is something that is taught through generations. This is our home. This is what we are taught to do. This is what we love to do. You know, we feed America. We feed the state of Louisiana. We just want to make sure that it stays around for generations to come.
We all need to get involved if we're going to save our seafood industry. Ask before you eat.
Demand Louisiana seafood.
Now, up until this year, if you littered and someone reported you to the hotline, you got a letter from me. Please don't litter again. I sent out 800 and something last year. This year, you will get a ticket in the mail. As a matter of fact, I signed my first affidavit yesterday. Saturday night, me and my wife were going home. 2 beer cans blew out a pickup truck. That gentleman's getting a ticket for $150 in the mail. You know why that's important? If you get a ticket for litter or you pick up litter for a day, you're 80% less likely to litter again. Listen, in her earlier life, I think my wife littered. But ever since I make her go out and pick up litter, she sent me 2 pictures this morning of some litter on the side of the highway. She's like obsessed with it now. It will change you. So the more people we can get involved. Look, last year we spent $100 million cleaning up litter. We could better spend that money somewhere else. We can do this. We have new educational books we give to all the schools. They're supposed to teach litter in school. We have a 4-minute video you have to watch before you get your driver's license. There's questions on the test about litter. The answers are in that video. We're gonna do this, y'all. And it's something we all can get involved in. I gotta thank Wildlife Fishery and DOTD. They have stepped up big time. After Love the Boot Week, we're gonna have Love Your Waterway in September. We give out buckets at all the marinas. We partnered with CCA, Ducks Unlimited. We're going to clean up every waterway, every lake and stream through the month of September, all over Louisiana. We're going to keep this movement going. We also have cameras. If you got somebody going on a dead-end road dumping, contact us. We'll put a camera out and we'll catch them. Look at this is a little bit of 4 hours of video. Every one of these people got a ticket. Take a look.
We want to update them on what's going on in the tourist industry. We had a great Mardi Gras. I want to try to get more people engaged and keep Louisiana beautiful. It's Love the Boot Week. You can sign up for it now. tell them about our Love the Waterways coming up in September, where we're going to clean up every waterway in Louisiana over the month of September. And then also reach out and see what we can do to help them in their communities. We had a great Mardi Gras. We promote Mardi Gras in every town and city. So we've seen great increase in out-of-towners coming to Mardi Gras in small town Louisiana. And that's a good thing, because when they come, they have fun, they meet a friend for life, and they leave with a friend for life, and they just keep coming back for more. So we've had great success in getting people to travel throughout Louisiana in the small towns. New main streets, all those things have made all the difference to a lot of these small towns. And so to be here with all of those communities today and get some feedback of what we can do more, what we can do better, is really important.
What's the outlook for this upcoming tourist season?
Well, it's great. You know, we've had some challenges with the international market, but the drive market has been incredibly good for Louisiana. This year I rode with some travel writers that travel across the country in RVs. They stayed in our state parks. They wrote about riding in Mardi Gras. So those road travelers, those travelers by car, this is the year of the great outdoors of Louisiana. You can fish anywhere, but you catch fish in Louisiana. We're going to promote all the great things to do outdoors in Louisiana, and we've got a sportsman's paradise. It's a great opportunity to promote all those beautiful places to visit in Louisiana.
Today we had a workshop, really wanted to update the entire Police Jury Association on what's going on at DOTD. We have a transformation and a modernization that's underway. A lot of important aspects of our program are being updated so that we can deliver projects faster and more efficiently. And so really updating everyone on that. And then how are we collaborating more with locals to build projects in their communities? And so wanted to go over all of those things and then really give an update on some of the project delivery aspects of our program, in particular the new I-10 Calcasieu River Bridge and that implementation that's starting very soon. We have anywhere from an $18 to $19 billion backlog that's been built up over many years. One of the things that we're doing about it with Governor Landry and the legislative leaders is we are dedicating more surplus to roads and bridges across the state. And so you saw a significant contribution and investment over the last 2 years, almost $800 million, almost $1 billion in that additional investment beyond our traditional annual highway priority program to eat into that backlog and then start rebuilding those bridges and those roads. So you'll see a lot of orange cones out there on the streets.
I was here today just to give a general overview about the department, kind of shed a light on DEQ, how the inner workings of it work, some of our programs, our various initiatives, and answer any questions if we have time. There's a lot of issues, obviously. Waste tires is something that comes up perennially. A lot of parishes are dealing with abandoned piles of waste tires, so we're looking at ways to manage that program better and provide some relief to the local communities. We're citizens of the state just like everybody else, and so we have a very vested interest in making sure that our environment is protected.
As you all know, insurance rates for vehicles has been extremely high in Louisiana for a very long time.
Sure. So currently we're actually seeing some positive trends through 2025 and into 2026 for the first time in several years. On the private passenger auto side, we actually had for the first time since about 2020 an average annual rate decrease across the state. We saw a decrease of about 6%, which is great news for Louisiana drivers. That was due primarily to a reduction in loss frequency compared to prior years. So that's on the auto side. On the homeowner side, rates continue to increase. However, the increase has been coming down a bit from the peak of 2022 and 2023 that we saw after Laura, Delta, Zeta, and Ida. And we've also been adding new companies to the market. So things are trending in the right direction, but we still have a ways to go on the homeowner side.
So we still have a lot of remaining locations you have to build, like in Webster Parish. So our workshop today deals with providing an update on where we are with broadband connectivity for the state of Louisiana. I've been coming to this event for 5 years, really thrilled about our partnership with Guy Cormier and the police jury. The police juries and the people that attend our workshop play a critical role in advocating for the needs for their communities when it comes to digital infrastructure. The nice thing about it is, when I first came to the police jury meeting 5 years ago to today, we made incredible progress. Today, nearly 94% of Louisianans have connectivity. 5 years ago, it was below 60%, so we made substantial progress there. And then B, we're doing a bunch of ribbon cuttings around the state. I've been to Vernon Parish, Acadia, I've been to Vermilion, I've been to, we were in Vidalia a couple of days ago in Concordia Parish. So what people are actually seeing is the end result, which is the fruits of their advocacy, the fruits of their pushing for really good connectivity, and that's what people are seeing today. Better connectivity, an affordable rate, and we've got 127,000 locations left. We'll knock that out in the next two years, and then the digital divide in Louisiana will be done.
Our workshop today is actually about LIDACOR, the Louisiana Infrastructure Technical Assistance Corporation. We actually offer a consulting, grant writing, and we even have matching funds that's at no cost to local governments. We help local governments access federal dollars. It helps level the playing field. So these communities who haven't been able to get a grant writer, maybe a consultant, and if they could, they'd still have to have matching funds to be able to draw down federal funds. They've missed the boat. They've been overlooked and haven't been able to access those dollars for infrastructure, and so this helps bring them to the table.
Our workshop today dealt with the ability for USDA to be able to provide services throughout the state and educating the Police Jury Association on what those services would be and how they could get involved. So it's an amazing organization. I was appointed by President Trump and I worked directly for Secretary Rollins. But they have tasked us with going out into these rural communities and providing them with so many different services. There's over 80 programs. Some of them are not funded all the way, but most of them are funded. And we do everything from single-family housing to multifamily housing, broadband expansion, hospitals, rural community hospitals and clinics, and just so many different things to help rural communities. With all of and one of the things that I talked about is all of this influx of billions of dollars of investment that's coming in from the outside. It's coming into neighborhoods, into communities that are very small and rural. So we have to go into those communities and be able to provide the dollars, and it's billions of dollars to prop them up. Right, so that they're ready to take on 7,000 workers at a time. So that's what the talk today was: is how do you get to the USDA, and what can we do to help you?
Our workshop deals with the opportunities that we're bringing to rural communities for funding options, some of the legislation that we'll be pushing for rural areas of our state. We've had so much growth in the rural areas. Out of 19 announcements of LED awards, 16 of them were in rural parts of our state. So we want to capitalize on that. We want to capitalize on the $94 billion private investments all across the state by helping local governments be able to increase their quality of life for their municipalities. Very critical right now. That's where the economic boom is. It's sort of like the new oil and gas boom for us. With all the opportunities with artificial intelligence and the companies that are coming in, and they need lots of land, and that's where the land is in Central and North Louisiana.
Our workshop today dealt with closed party primaries. Right now it's the big change that everybody's hearing about and learning about in the state of Louisiana with our elections. May 16th is the first date for closed party primaries. And so we're busy informing the public and voters on how they can prepare when they're walking the door. Louisiana is one of the few states in America that doesn't have closed party primaries. And so they are bringing it into certain elections this year. And it's going to be in the U.S. House, the U.S. Senate, the Bessie race, the Public Service Commission race, and Louisiana State Supreme Court races. And so in those races only, there will be a spring closed party primary, and then in the fall, the people who are in the major parties, Republican and Democrat, are going to end up in the fall race running against each other. So it'll just be one candidate instead of a jungle party, which is what we normally have. Now, in all other races, it's going to be exactly the same. So it really is only in those.
Our workshop today deals on some of the current and relative agriculture issues our state's facing right now, both from a policy side and a production side. And we hope to enlighten this crowd on some of those differences and those challenges. Agriculture is $13 billion to Louisiana's economy, so I think that's pretty significant, especially in our rural communities. We are the backbone of the rural Louisiana, and the majority of our state has some form or fashion of agriculture in each corner of the state.
I've been in my position for 9 months now.
So my name is Tommy Toom. I'm Assistant Secretary for the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, and today I'm talking about the department, how it connects people, what our responsibilities are, and how we're changing and adapting in an ever-changing environment of people and culture to best meet the needs for the citizens of Louisiana. Well, we're very active. Under this administration, we're focusing on habitats. So we're managing the properties that we have better. We're also creating a conservation incentive program which would highlight and be able to provide cost share assistance to private landowners to do habitat work on their property. That's important because 90% of the property in Louisiana is in private land. So if you do everything right on public lands, you're still only impacting 10% of Louisiana. So it's adamant that we get out there and do that habitat management on that other 90% that's represented in private lands. Beyond that, we're being very involved from a policy perspective as it pertains to Louisiana and some national policies that are created to take advantage of Louisiana. So instead of reacting to things that come from the federal government, we're actually at the table creating policies that benefit Louisiana.
The topic is community development and everything that means, which is disaster recovery, long-term recovery. It includes water sector and anything that the state can assist, especially rural communities with, that will help enhance their communities.
There's not a more important time for counties and parishes to be engaged with the National Association of Counties. We are the intergovernmental voice for county government in D.C., and we're in a time of great change where status quo isn't going to cut it anymore for anybody, and we need to make sure that our county voices are in those rooms where decisions are being made. And so NACO is working on everything from disaster response, what FEMA is going to look like, to infrastructure, election security, all those things that touch counties every day, touch our citizens every day. And I was here in Louisiana to encourage parishes to engage with us if they haven't already, because we need those Louisiana perspectives as these policies are being shaped.
As you take a look at what's happening in Congress, what are some of the issues that you anticipate are going to affect local government?
So a huge one is the Farm Bill. They're working on reauthorization of the Farm Bill, and it touches so many components of our local county economies and the people who live here. But also we see great opportunity in the Basics Act, which is an infrastructure bill that would get more direct funding to counties for county roads and bridges, which would be a new feature in that. But counties own over 40% of the roads in America, but we don't get any of that federal funding pot. So great opportunity for us there.
Today we wanted to show all the parishes in Louisiana all the great work that the women at LED have been doing over this last year to make big changes in Louisiana.
Tell us, why is it important that women get involved in the political process and in local government?
I think it's important for women to get involved because we all have different opinions about things, and when we work together we can really move the needle.
My message today is that Louisiana is open for business, and we have the opportunity to really support our communities in a pivot towards a thriving environment here in the very near future.
Now, what role do women play in this?
They play a tremendous role in this. So if you look across Governor Landry's administration, it is full of really powerful women with great ideas, and most importantly, those women are driving ideas into execution.
What would you say to encourage women that may not have gotten involved in local government before?
I would say there's no better time than now. Identify the projects and the opportunities that you're passionate about and go ahead and say yes now, because there's no better time than the current.
I think it's vital to have voices of all kinds involved, including women. I just think everyone brings unique perspectives, whether it be their upbringing, their education. It just gives a whole different flavor, and it allows us to meet those that are joining our community in a very different way when we have a diverse set of voices around the table.
Getting involved is critically important because everyone's perspective on their community is critical, and in economic development it contributes to the work that we do every day. And so we have something to learn in all of our relationships, and we're just excited to make connections.
Whereas the members of the Police Jury Association of Louisiana, with great sorrow and a deep sense of loss of the absence of our fellow members who have been taken by death since the last annual convention of our association. And whereas these members have rendered innumerable public services to their respective district and parish, and to the state of Louisiana, and to the people thereof. And whereas the absence of these outstanding citizens to public service is keenly felt as a great personal loss to their family, friends, and colleagues. Therefore, be it resolved by the Police Jury Association of Louisiana in convention and duly assembled in Lake Charles, Louisiana, this 6th day of March 2026, that the association does hereby pay tribute to the memory of Walter Andrus from Acadia Parish, Arnold Murrell from Grant Parish, Winston Roberts from Grant Parish, Owen Cormier from Jefferson Davis Parish, Joe Henderson from Lincoln Parish, and Barbara Carroll from Richland Parish, and does hereby express for its members and citizens of the state their sense of gratitude for their achievements and contributions to the public good of their local areas and to the state.
I acknowledge my Tangibo Parish group. I'm proud to serve at home with these excellent people. They're right over there. I want them to stand up. I will tell you that it's because of those folks over there that I get to stand here today. So thank y'all. God bless you. I appreciate you so much. All right. Now I got a few questions for you, all of you, and I want you to engage with me, okay? Please do that. Who lives in the best country in the world? Who does? Come on. Who lives in the best state in that country? Come on, I want to hear you. Now, I'm a big one now because if y'all know me, normally I have a preference on this one, but I'm going to give all y'all an opportunity. Who lives in the best parish in the state? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Because in our parishes, we all have something remarkable that we're proud of. We choose to live there. We can live anywhere in the country, but we choose to live where we do because we love it, because it is the best parish in the state for each one of us. But we have the ability, too, to share our lives every day with each other. But then, at the same time, as council members and police jurors, we get to battle through our differences, too, if necessary. We can debate fiercely. We challenge each other's ideas. We sharpen solutions, and we build something better together. And then we sit down with each other and break bread and enjoy our lives together and the excitement of our families. Thank you for doing that. We can also do that. When we do it, we can do it vehemently. We can attack but we attack the problem and not each other. We attack the issue to make it better, to fix it better, to make sure that our citizens have a better life. But we don't attack each other. I can tell you we do it. We don't attack each other. We can't because we're always too close to each other. We do it that way because we have no other choice. We're too close to our citizens. They're with us every day. We see them everywhere we go. We hear our state leaders who talk to us and our federal leaders who talk to us that we're where the rubber meets the road. We interact with our citizens more closely than anybody does. And our residents are counting on us to attack the problem and not each other. It doesn't matter their party. It doesn't matter their religion. It doesn't matter their race. We have to take care of them. None of that matters when a flood comes, when a flood happens or a hurricane comes, freeze takes us over like we just went through, some sewer backs up. None of that matters when the ditches don't drain. What matters or that the roads need to be repaired. When those things happen, our citizens don't call Washington and they don't call Baton Rouge. They call you. And when they do that, we have to respond and we have to take care of it. This is what we do, and I believe, and with everything I have, I believe that we are not in this position by accident. Scripture tells us, in Romans 13, there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been established by God. You were chosen. You were in your position because God placed you there, in this place, at this time, to handle exactly what is in front of you. So when the challenges come, and they will, we know they will, when you're questioned, when you're criticized, when the weight of it feels more than you can handle, I want you to remember, you were put here not by chance. You were put here by providence. Take up your cross, unite it with Jesus, and go execute on behalf of God and the people who are counting on you. I'm looking forward to an incredible year alongside each one of you. May God bless you and keep you. God bless. Thank you.
We don't get to be partisan. We don't get to be, super conservative or liberal or whatever it is. We don't get to do that. We have to just take care of the people that are in front of us every day. And we should be the ones that get the most resources pushed down from the feds, from the state, because we really do know what's going on at our community. We really are the ones that have our pulse our thumb on the pulse of our communities, and we know where the issues are and where the pockets are that need more attention and how to do it. And then we need the flexibility to do that. And I think that in the last year or two, myself and the police jury and all have really pushed the idea that you say it, we'll start pushing those resources to us and take the red tape off of us and let us do what we need to for our local citizens.
The thing that people need to realize is we're your voice. Local government is your voice. You should always be involved in local government. Talk to your police jurors, talk to your people that's around. We are always fighting for you and legislation. So, we are your voice. Reach out, be involved in your communities.
Well, that's where government really begins. It's very responsive. I enjoy it because you're able to get things done and see what's actually being done and address issues. And that's, but it's a foundational part of our whole country and our whole setup. Because you got to take care of the home.
I mean, all government is local. I think it's so important because those are the residents' front lines, really, to voicing their concerns about things, is their local government, whether it's their council members, their parish presidents. We're directly in the communities that we serve. And so it's very important for residents to stay engaged with us so we know what's important to them. But local government, it's like I said, you're the first one that interacts with the actual residents that you're serving. So it's very important.
I've been coming here since 2000. I got elected in 1999 and took office in 2000. The information is invaluable. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the amount of people that you meet here, the contacts you meet, and the knowledge you gain from coming here, and the opportunities you get from meeting people with different agencies and how you can actually get funds and things like that. It benefited me a lot in Iberia Parish.
Local government is important because it is the boots on the ground. When state agencies and federal agencies want to know what's really happening, they come to us because we know what's going on. Or if they don't come to us, then they're not going to get the true picture. So yeah, it's we're the boots on the ground. We're the people that we know who's in the grocery store. We're the ones that get stopped when they have concerns about what's going on in their community, and we're the voice that brings that back to the state and to the federal agencies.
Local government is where the rubber hits the road. We make that decisions, all the local decisions, and you can't go in the grocery store without somebody asking about the street light, the roads, the pothole, the rooster crowing all night, and the dog barking all night. It's just the little bitty things, but I mean, we firsthand know and see what touches our people on a local side every day.
Local government is, I think, the essence of every community. We provide the most basic services like your water, your sewer, and drainage and mosquito control and all of those services that you need to sustain a community.
I teach civics and I teach my class, Are you more likely to see your local government representative in Market Basket or Walmart, or are you more likely to see your senator or United States congressman in Walmart? And we get all the calls. We get sometimes it's state issues that we don't have any say-so in, but we relay that message to the legislatures and to the congressmen who do have the ability to make the decisions for them and get what the problem they have solved. Because if they calling us, then they have a problem, and that's what I've always said. If it's important enough for them to give us a call or to give us a text message, then it's important enough for us to carry through and try to find a solution to their problem.
Local government, you are on the ground, boots on the ground, as they say. And I would tell anybody, local government, knowing somebody in local government is more important than knowing anybody in your Congress and anything like that, because local government is where it happens.
I'm a newbie. I've only been on the parish council for 2 years, and it's quite, listen, information is power, and the more we know, the better we can serve our constituents, the better we can serve our parish. So the information is impeccable. It's good to have.
This is my 3rd year. I've gained a lot of knowledge and information because I've only been in parish council going on 3 years, and the information that I've got, there's a lot of knowledge here, a lot of institutional knowledge from people that's been around and doing this particular job, police jurors, councilmen. So I think this here has been very helpful for me.
This has been the biggest conference we've had thus far, and probably the most amazing. We've had just people that are coming in wanting to learn, wanting to cross-reference their parishes, deciding that, you know, if there's an issue in one parish, how do we help other parishes do that? As far as educational components, we have pretty much every secretary, every department of the state here that spoke to us relative to what they do in their departments. We've had people just networking. A lot of what happens here is just networking between, you know, those folks that are elected into those positions, whether you're in DeSoto Parish or you're in Cameron Parish, they should know one another. And so this gives them all an opportunity to be under one roof, network among themselves, exchange business cards, so that when an issue comes up that you have somebody else you can call, whether you're in Calcasieu or East Carroll. Sometimes these issues are the same. So we encourage networking while you're here.
How can people get more information?
Best way to find us is on the web, lpgov.org. Or you can just Google us, Louisiana Police Jury Association, and we should come up.